Hello, everyone. Welcome to NFP Live. It's going to happen in a couple of 2 or 3 seconds. I'm sorry for being late, but there is a thunderstorm system around me, so I just went in. I'm like, if I got blocked out, if this one dies, you heard me, you heard it, and may the force be with you. Earlier today, I did have a buy on S&P 500. Not everyone was probably happy with that, but I bought 45.20 because it is a monthly buy zone. I see this as a potential reversal, and if this one goes lower, then whatever, I don't really care. It looks like this. Stop loss is 44.30. I've now moved that to 44.50. So, and then TP is indefinite. Okay, so what else are we supposed to do today? We are supposed to look for the calendar. So let's look at that one on the right. Let's do this one on the left. What else can we look at? Euro dollar, probably. Euro dollar has been very bearish lately as of dollar strength. But what I think we should be able to look into is potential continued dollar strength. Markets are expecting 200,000 new jobs, which is okay, fine, fair enough. But that's about average. If it goes 50,000 above or 50,000 below, we're going to have a market reaction. Other than if it's just within 50,000 to 250,000 or 150,000, nothing is really going to happen. So we still have a very strong market, labor market in America. So this is still, as far as I can see, just a non-event market, but still fair enough. And I expect dollar to weaken if we get around the same as expected. Hello, Mark. Hello, Isaac. Good morning. Let's go. My time says it is there. What is happening? So 6.7 unemployment rate is better than expected. Unemployment is better than expected. Non-farm payrolls is lower than expected, which is contrarily to 3.5. That should overall lead to some dollar weakness, but also some dollar strength. If we go over to my S&P 500 trade, we are having a positive reaction on the market. And my follow-up trade, if this one goes well, is a new higher high, higher low, and I will buy again if that one happens. For euro dollar, we are seeing it coming back higher again. We are seeing pound coming higher again, and we are seeing gold should go higher again, though that is definitely a stop loss hunt more than anything else. So if you are a buyer, be very careful on gold. I would rather buy euro, dollar, if anything. Coming back to pullback, but it's not bullish. It's just an overall pullback because we have already this week hit the weekly take profit. So this is more like a take profit situation, meaning that it probably is going to go lower next week anyways, but market needs a higher price before going higher. Yeah. Brenton lives in Florida. Kevin's from Florida, and Mark used to live in Clearwater. So Florida guys, you guys should get your own room. If you get any value out of this, please hit a like. Other than that, so let's go in and look at the report that they produced. Let's do that. Let's do the HTML version of non-farm payroll. It rose by 187,000 in July. Unemployment rate changed little at 3.5. Job gains occurred in healthcare, social assistance, and financial activities, and wholesale trade. Remember, for teachers, I think this is probably going to come in next meeting, in NFP, where they become unemployed over the summer, and then they get employed again. So there is this data that's not picked up seasonally, So just have that in mind. The measures the labor force status, including unemployment by demographic characteristics, establishment, survey measures non-farm employment, hours, and earnings by industry. Unemployment rate for Asians declined. Jobless rates for adult men 3.3, adult women 3.1, teenager 11%, apparently white 3.1, black 5.8, and Hispanic 4.4. I don't know if this is just America, but this is weird that they do this, but I guess America goes America. I find it odd that this is how they are grouping people, but don't blame me for it. Should we say anything else then? Employment in other services continued to trend up in July. Employment in wholesale trade increased by 18,000 after showing a little net change in the recent months. Okay, fine. So it's by my opinion that the non-farm payrolls are a bit less than expected, which is fine, but it's in line with what I would call still a continuation higher. It is still what I would like to see. It's still a great report, because the target, I would say, for the Fed is 200,000, give or take, and this is thereabouts. If we go over to CAD, we had an unemployment rate is 5.5 as expected, and hourly average rate is 5%, which is considerably higher than what was previously, but their net change in employment declined. Now, that can also be a summer thing, though they are supposed to be seasonally, adjusted. Going from 59,000 down to negative 6,000, I bet would lead to CAD yen falling small, apparently. Euro yen should be trying to make a higher high. Euro dollar should be trying to make a higher high. Now, I'm not going to tell you guys to buy this one euro dollar thing, but it's definitely in the hoops and loops of having a pullback to a very, 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 very aggressive entry. So now that's done. Yeah, okay. DXY. I said, I think it was last week or this week, I thought it was going to be bearish, though it has continued higher. Fine. Nothing in particular about that. It is currently still very much bullish. So if you are thinking of bearishness, it needs to go below that. So first one is a new lower low, which we almost got today. Pulled back to this one, it becomes my number one trade, which is a very aggressive trade and not always profitable. New lower low and then pullback makes your number two trade, and that's a trade that you should take. And we are far away from that at this point. Secondly, when it comes to Australian dollar, it's kind of showing signs of reversing, but this is very much still a bearish continuation trend in trade. Though this pricing in of pausing the interest rate in Australia has led to this one falling. Fair enough, but it's going to turn around sooner than later. It just depends on how far will it fall before it turns around again. I'm not going to say that this is it, but a new higher high, higher low is definitely a change trade, because I never got an entry on the sell side here. I don't really have like a clear bias other than dollar bearishness. So I'm just waiting for that one to come around. And to be honest with you, it is kind of what it is. Nothing in particular, nothing fantastic. When it comes over to pound, it has been falling. There is Bank of England yesterday, and ever since then we have gone up again. What generally tends to happen with the Bank of England has a meeting, it makes pound dollar bearish. which is fair enough. But higher high, higher low if you're thinking of buy, but this is clearly still very much bearish. And I'm not here to confuse you, but I'm saying if you're a buyer, you have to wait, up with your hands, drop your pans. Okay, just saw lightning. How many kilometers away? 2 kilometers away. So it's really close now. So if this one goes away, I do apologize for that. Okay. I am done with that. So tell me, bro, what's the deal? What is your asset you want me to look at? Give me an asset, give me a direction, and we'll look at that. What is your trade plan? Did NFP go as far as you wanted it to go? And we can see S&P 500 for me is going lower. And I took a very small trade here, so I think it's like 0.004 on it, and it's probably like $5 loss on it at this point. It doesn't it doesn't bother me at all. Currently in a CAD yen short, waiting for the next week's target, Hairbaker. Okay. Yeah, okay, cool, good. Okay. What's your entry, Harry? Great pick, by the way. Pretty standard bearishness. Congratulations, by the way. Yeah, fair enough. 105.30 probably. Yeah, that looks like about it. So there is your sell entry, and then another pullback to sell again would probably what you would prefer, but it's very difficult to get that. What could happen, which is more likely than anything else, is just that it drops now, which is a very great entry, bro. Very great entry. Claps for me. And there is his entry up there. Yeah, I have nothing to say against that one. That is perfect. Perfect. Couldn't have done it better myself, by the way. And to be honest, that is kind of how I would love you. How this melts my heart because this is a great entry. It's a number one entry, but it's still a good entry. And the second one is 107. If you go down to like daily pivots, I bet you that is a sell pivot on Central and M3. Yeah, that is definitely what's going on over there. Yeah, definitely. But such a great trade, bro. Congratulations. Gold is rising higher. Is this one bullish? Can you take advantage of this gold move higher? No, not really. There's a couple of reasons for that. Well, this can just now continue on and take off like a bullet. But I would just argue that this is just the first thing you need to see. You need to challenge that one, then pull back, then higher. If you only get that, what is it? This is resistance in a bearish trend. If you're thinking of selling it, it is definitely not how I want you guys to trade by any chance or any means. Okay, just gonna do that on the side so I can see it. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. 1 hour something. Yeah. Okay. So gold is now rising higher. If you bought it, I would argue that this is a very aggressive entry. I would argue that you are probably impatient and probably not impatient. Sorry, you are being very aggressive about it. which is your choice. I would want to minimally wait back for a pullback on a 1 minute or 30 minutes or whatever the pullback is before looking for a buy. I know there is people in my group that is like hungry dogs, hasn't been fed for a week and just waiting for gold to be like, I'm gonna go higher and I'm gonna take you. It's type of situation, okay? But if you're gonna wait for a trend trade, so what I just said, that is the trade for NFP, like an aggressive trade. But the trend trade, overall trade, you need to wait for 1950, break, pull back, then higher highs and higher lows. Let's go say, is there anything else that I should mention? Why is oil at 81? Hey ho, hey ho. Yeah, so this is what I would like to see in the beginning of a new trend. And I don't know if I want to look for a bullish trend now in the middle of August. Beginning of August. The reason for that is your dollar is supposed to be bearish, but the bearishness started much earlier than any year. Not any year, but much earlier than I would like to, because I would love to sell it 1st of August. Secondly, I need a much higher price before I can sell it. So it's kind of like I want this to be much higher. I don't like where it is right now. But sure enough, make it go higher, make it go up to 110, catch the pullback, and then move on. What also can happen on Monday, is that if we don't break 110.20, it's all going to be a resistant Monday. The whole momentum higher is dead as a fish in a pond, and we will come down again. Mark Winter next week looking for pullback on euro yen to get a sell at 157 flat. Now, that's a great entry, but that is a great thing to look for. I just don't know. Like, seasonally, it's supposed to fall. Technically, it has fallen a bit. But my confidence level in this year's price action is like, why is it not falling more? Why is it not as much as I would like it to be? Like, why is it even trying to go higher? Because if you compare this with Aussie yen, right? Aussie yen fell like a ton of bricks, though helped by change of monetary policy statement. Fine. So it did what I kind of expected. But it was a bit earlier than I expected it. Was it? No, actually, it was the day off, actually. So, okay. But I never traded it. And then the CAD yen is a much better deal. Pound yen is still, I don't know. New Zealand yen was like, well, let me just tank and not give you guys an entry other than just one up here. And then the rest of you guys are like, ha ha. So my rant is over. Great resistance, great resistance. Stop loss is probably going to be high. Cut your lot size in half. It's going to be 100 pips or more. And take the shot. That's the only thing that I can say here. Because I don't feel it. And when I don't feel it, like, it doesn't, like, what I would like to see, but like literally what I want to see: lower low, lower high, continue lower, lower high, lower low, lower high, continue lower, so that we are like down here by now, deeper pullback, and then we continue down to like 15th of August. So this still has a lot of potential to fall. Don't get me wrong. Let's see if I can find a year where that happened. Like this one, like 9th of August, like it fell down second, came back up again, and then it fell around 10th. And by the end of 15th, there was a bottom. Is that going to be the deal this year? Or are we going to be like this deal where like we dropped something, bloody just a random range, and then dropped the last few days until 15th/18th? So it's kind of like, what am I looking at? Am I looking at the right things? Am I looking at what is necessary for bearishness? Though I'm not gonna rule out the fact that we are very much able to just, fall. So I would argue that 56.50, 56.40, 57 are two levels of entry that you are allowed to look for. But if it breaks and candle close above 57.50, it's a get out thing. Like, it's not where I want it to be. It's not where it's supposed to be. It's short term, not okay. So let me just put it out what I tell my students, or at least in my brain when I remember it, is that this market right now is just a pullback to buy mid-August. What you're doing now on selling yen, Aussie yen, CAD yen is pullbacks, is deeper retracements, are counter trends, or counter where the move is going to come from. Okay? It's not the primary move, but okay. Now I've said that. Is USD yen bearish? I would argue that if we close today, not yet, but if we close today below 142, we have a higher chance of it going lower. Okay? You have a higher chance of it going lower. Doesn't mean it's going to. But if that happens, then yeah. There is my number one trade. Okay? If we now go lower and comes back to 142.20, that becomes my number two trade. So good luck on that. I've been trying to sell it off in a long time. It's not easy because you need a lot of yen a lot of dollar weakness, weaker than the weakest thing out there. Okay, so if you're gonna find something weak, it probably isn't this pair that you would like to trade. But sure, go for it. I'm not going to stop you. Pound yen. Okay. British pound has turned lower. You are very much inclined, like, what do you call it? Inclined or allowed to look for sells here. It's mid lower lows and lower highs. Great. Even this morning, this sell here at, that's not this morning, sorry. That is daily bearish. I think this is daily. Yeps. Daily central, that's a sell. Yesterday, central was a sell. What you then need now is continuation. Break that low, come back lower, come back again, and continue. Hello, Manny. How are you? It's a long time no see. How is the sea over there? If there is like what? How's Tokyo? I forgot my brain. Sorry. Took a buy and Nasdaq at 115,700. Sorry, Taiwan, by the way. So I said Tokyo. I was on the T. 15,745, 700. Okay. What I'm literally just waiting for, Shake, is a new high rise. Then after that, it will continue higher. After it will continue. After that, sorry. After that. So I literally just need a new higher high. I'm waiting for it to continue higher. I'm waiting for it to come back up again and do that to some extent. Right now, I see a bottom. It might not be easy to see it, but to me, there's your M2. We just need continuation. If it breaks below 150, 15,200, I'm like, I don't like it anymore. So I can see you entered a bit early, but I'm just about to enter again. Yes, no, yes, long time. Hope all is well. Still in Taiwan. Great memory. Yeah, unless you went back to India. What do you mean I have a great memory? Like, do you think Manny, you're gonna be my pinnacle question here. I'm gonna put you on the spot. Okay, I'm gonna put your face up there. Nothing else than just me and you. Do you think? Sorry, bad hair. Do you think I have forgotten you guys? Do you feel like I have sat down and be like, who is this person? Are you dead? Good very morning, Crystal. To your hopefully happiness, we're going to start having meetings again from Monday off. Just asking. Sure. Lol. I love you, money. Don't you worry. I've not forgotten you. Where are we? Okay, cool. 17 people. You 17 people are a great sports. I have no much other deal to do with you. If you have other pairs I've asked earlier, I can ask again. If you have any current pairs for me to look at, I will look at it. I'll be here. I'll be happy. I will do it for you. I have earlierly bought 45.20 this morning. Stop loss was 44.80. The reason is I'm continuously bullish. It's around the monthly buy zone. It's a 004 trade, so it's not going to pay anything. It's just like a dart thing. If it's continue higher, woohoo! I will put my longer light source on, and if it falls down to stop loss, boo! I'll wait. Use the N. It depends on what you want to expect. What you're expecting this here, madam. Technically, this is the way to break. So if you're a buyer, like, oh, that looks like a great buy. If you're a seller, you want to break this level and then come back up higher again. So, yes, I've gone over gold a couple of times. So this is it's currently at a breaking point. I can't tell you that it's going to be bearish or bullish. It all depends on where you want it to go. But this is kind of like, this is the last man standing for buyers, and this is maybe the start of sellers. But if this one fails to break, it continues bullish. Make sense? So by the end of the day, you're either going to have a fantastic buy entry, or you're going to have to wait until Monday to get a fantastic sell entry. Though you need dollar to be bearish, more weak than the weakest currency in the market. That is a very hard task. Okay? I'm just going to say that. Mr. CAD's secret box, fantastic. CAD Yen is a fantastic. Who had an entry on CAD Yen? Was it Mark? No, it wasn't Mark. It was Harry. Had a fantastic entry at 107. there's a sell there, and then 106, 107 flat, and then 107 60 is sell points, and then this one is another sell points. So as long as you are able to day trade this lower 20 degree, that would be great. Just gonna find those lowers. So either weekly or day trade, meaning support and resistance, plain and simple, nothing fancy. Maybe a deeper pullback to 107 on Monday, but other than that, with the help of the Canadian unemployment, it should continue lower. It doesn't mean it will, but at least lower is the direction I want to go in. Now, I would rather, also technically, Crystal, I would look for you to buy USD yen. Fundamentally, both of them are having weak. Maybe you will get like a stronger yen later, but with change of monetary policy, but you haven't got that yet. So it's kind of like until they have changed, and then dollar now starts to get a little weaker again, but you have to have a stronger yen on the other side. I know, Roxana, you're looking for euro yen sell. I would call this very bullish. Still not bullish, but still very strong. It hasn't fallen as much as you would like to. I would argue that you need a new lower low for you to be continuing your confidence in it. And if that doesn't happen, it is what it is. Okay. So if this doesn't continue lower, don't add anything. Don't do anything to it. If this one drops a million bricks in one go, leave it. I don't like it for bearishness right now because it hasn't performed as much as Aussie yen, New Zealand yen, and Canadian. It is still a bit much higher than them. How do you know that? I can see that by now. But if you just do this and you put that on a line chart and you see that Canadian is a negative 21.24, and you can see that Euro yen is negative 98, which is still fair enough, but it's like in this time frame it should have fallen more, where Canadian is down here and Euro yen is up there. That's kind of all. Okay, got it. I know you got it. I know you got it. I know you got it. Got it. All right, peeps. There, on Sunday I will try my best to put out a lot of content. There's going to be a lot of meetings, a lot of Zoom meetings for the mentorship students. Make sure to be there. I will probably give like a warning of 1 hour, hopefully, before I do it. Other than that, euro dollar is bearish still. Gold is still bearish. But with this is the potential to continue higher. Great. This is going to be the number one trade. This is going to be number 3 trade. We shall see if this continues or if this is the peak and then falling down. Okay. Have a good day.